Alright, timestamp. June 25th, 2026, about 10 till midnight. Pix came over today. We were out in the alcove. Health check. Still got a lot of, panic attacks, shallow breathing, whatnot. I've definitely got some congestion in my chest, which worries me a little bit just because I know with the emphysema that can develop into something more serious. So, concerned. But yeah, Pix came over and we worked in the alcove for several hours. It rained a lot today. That area is covered, so we didn't get wet, and it cooled it down a little bit, but it was still in the 80s and a little bit of a sweat box. So when you can hear it, right? When we did wrap up and she went home, it's so weird saying that my wife went home and it isn't here. It's really strange. You know what I mean? That the words are correct words, and yet the concept of it shouldn't be a thing. And I hate it. But I have a feeling she probably did too. I took a nap. I toweled off so I didn't make my bedding all funky, and I took a nap. I was down for like 5 hours. The heat just knocks it out of me. I know it's not exactly great on her either. A lot of glassware, some broken, rusty, kitchen appliances, a couple of older ones. It's like a Sunbeam countertop. It's like a waffle press or like almost one of the George Foreman grills, but it's mostly like steel, like heavy, not black and pendulous. That's different. But it's like a giant waffle iron, but it's like 40 pounds. That we may see if it has any value from because I know there are people that collect retro old appliances like 50s, 60s, 70s. That one, I don't know. A lot of glassware, like 4 or 5 totes worth. My mom did not know when to stop. We repacked several of them. I've got one here by the back door ready to go out. Tiny will find a spot for it on the lanai. Some moldy, dirty plush that were in a tote that leaked. We're continuing to do the Epcot 35 anniversary mug, and there is real Starbucks in here. That is good coffee. I gotta do another run with the ghetto manufacturing that we got going on over here. You're okay. Scrappy was sleeping in front of the fridge door earlier and then being all put out whenever he got in the way. Your dog do that? It's like if somebody wants to get into the fridge, you will be in the way. Is that the point of it? But the whole, oh man, attitude thing, it's like, just stop. This is your choice. No one said, hey, you know what? To guarantee that you're in the way, what if you were to lay down? You know? Remember how I said that if you've been with me a while, I knew that there were more of the big Starbucks bags back at George Station that Pix just hadn't found yet. She found them. exactly where I thought they'd be. Exactly where she swore that they weren't. But in digging deeper, she's like, yeah, I found them. So, I already put one up there. Two of the big bags, the medium, these are 28-ounce bags. And two 28-ounce bags of the espresso roasted dark. This is like more than a year ago. Walmart was doing, I know it had to have been a mistake, because they had like 2 packs of these for like $14. And I think at one point they were like $10, like $5 for a 28-ounce bag. And I ordered a bunch of them. I know it was a pricing error, but honestly, I don't have a whole lot of compassion for like taking advantage of a misprint from Walmart. Number one, they'll survive. Number two, as many times as they have, just as a corporation, they screw everybody over. So yeah, no. But yeah, a lot of glassware. The wherever, I'm actually going to turn the camera. The wherever pots and pans cleaned up beautifully. Really great stainless steel. I've dealt with some of their stuff before, and they're just really good. But we found some other stuff in the alcove that Pix was like, ooh, I want that. Old kerosene. Am I getting it on screen? No. So, that's probably the cover for it. If not, I found a few others around here. So, we could mix and match if we wanted to. And there's just a lot of one-off plates, frankly. Like little plates. But this one kind of has that almost aquatic look. It looks like a seashell. So that was kind of cool. Because I'm gonna be doing more of an aquatic theme in my personal space once we get where we're going. My concept for it was how would Captain Shakespeare decorate his summer getaway? If you've seen Stardust with Robert De Niro, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go check it out. It's a great movie. A lot of fun. And we'll do a little bit more water in there. Because it's what we got. We will Mickey Mouse our way to a pot of coffee, damn it. Why? Because it's coffee. It's important. We're going to do what we have to do. I found a handful of these, which I guess they're like one-use meat thermometers. When she pulled them out, I thought they were like large kitchen matches, because it's basically like a stick with a weird colored end. I wasn't sure what it was, but it seems to be quickly insert dark sensor tip into the center of meat while cooking and wait 5 to 10 seconds. Remove sensor tip and check the color. So it's like a meat thermometer. Chicken and beef. I don't know. I guess they don't go bad, right? Probably not. But, you know, there's a whole handful of those in a tote with plates. I don't know why. I don't know why. Quit asking me, I don't know why. Oh. Some broken toys, a lot of broken toys. Couple of, like, this isn't a Matchbox or a Hot Wheels. 6039 Recycling Trash Truck China. I am not sure who manufactured this, because it kind of has, okay, it kind of has a dollar store feel, but from like 20 years ago when some of your dollar store toys were actually decent, if that makes sense. You know, I mean, you still these days do have the ones that are like, but you know, 17 out of 20 of them now are kind of, yeah. Uh, this is definitely a Matchbox. I think one or two of these in decent shape, and but for miniature work, I can play with that. One of these that they came out with years ago is kind of great because the print on the side, it's like kind of police-ish, but it says Raccoon Forest, which I'm not sure who did the design on it, because it's like a park ranger police kind of thing, but Raccoon Forest, I'm like, and I bought like 3 or 4 of them when I saw them on the shelf. It was 20 years ago. It's like, you did like a under the radar Resident Evil kind of thing here. That probably just me and, you know, 30 other hardcore fans went, ooh, that's a helicopter with Raccoon Forest on it. That's like Alpha and Bravo team kind of. It's kind of walked around the Capcom licensing on that one. If I find one, I'll pull it out. It's amusing, but yeah, I bought like 4 of them when I found them because it was just, oh hell yeah, yeah, that's too great. Yeah. So we're doing I might have mentioned this, part of the Starbucks medium. This poor unfortunate soul. I'm not sure if it's a wood carving or resin. I think it's resin. I'm not sure if the feet broke or what happened there, but I'm probably going to give him a second life. Pix almost trashed it, and honestly I kind of thought about it, but the carving on it's kind of fun. And it looks just enough like a carving to where I can make it part of a sculpture or an art piece, like a standalone diorama piece. You know, like you might see in a garden or in a museum or something like that. I'm figuring with that very clearly not how like a stork or whatnot's legs work lengthwise. If I were to do some type of a base with like high grass, that could conceal the fact that the legs are problemed. It's got a really fun look to it though. Look at that. He looks into your soul. He can't see you at all. He looks into your soul. It's very pitch black when you think about it, right? It's a fun piece, though. And I can make you something new. Foster Grant kid glasses? We were both confused on that one. That legit says Foster Grant on it. Oh. If you know what this is, please tell us, because we're going crazy on this. I did a Google lens on it. That's not like there is a point to it, but it's not sharp. Google Lens seemed to think that it was a fruit slicer. Um, I feel like it might be a Play-Doh toy for like cutting, and then you can put texture on it. It's also a handle for a big handle for little hands to like cut Play-Doh. I don't know what the hell this is, and we're both like, what is this? You hear that definitely thick but hollow plastic going on there. You can see where it's jointed there. Just really curious. Just really, really, really curious. Because, no matter what, I can probably use that from like almost an industrial standpoint in a diorama as a piece. Scratch building. The front of a farming instrument or something, I don't know. But I'm just really curious, what was this in its original life? Because there's no labeling of any value, we'll put it that way, on the stuff out there. There are some cardboard boxes that are labeled Bavarian China box 1 of 2. Those are accurate. Because there's 2 cardboard boxes out there that have a Bavarian China kind of beige with a brown trim and some like floral also in the brown. Very rustic, very old school. Not bad, pretty. If we kept everything that was pretty, then we'd honestly be almost as bad as, no, we wouldn't be almost as bad as my parents. But we would be fighting for space that we don't need to. There's too much nice stuff to actually keep, because then we're hoarding at that point. And there's some stuff that we look at and go, no, someone will probably love this, but that someone is not us. Hey, Janus. Up and on through? Okay. Everybody had the zoomies earlier. It's nice to see everybody kind of chill, because there was like a 30-minute period where it was like someone gave, all the zoo animals crack. It was just insane in here. Everybody seems to be coming down off their sugar high or whatever it was. And we're, right, Jock? And we're good. We're much better now. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Scrappy. Part of it was Hex was harassing him and then running. So my tuxedo cat was harassing the dog and then running, and then, of course, Beagle Shepherd mix, wants to go play, is chasing the cat. The cat is much better at this game than the dog is. And I think everyone else just fed on the excitement of my dog getting publicly shamed. I think pretty much the gist of it. Yeah. I still love you. He got trolled hard. He was like slamming into walls because he couldn't turn fast enough and stuff like that. It was... yeah. You're okay, buddy. The only people that laughed were the ones that saw it. Which was everybody in the house. Yeah, so I'm gonna get some stuff done. I'm gonna try and organize some stuff in the garage before I probably lay down and grab another nap, because I know Pix is supposed to come back over tomorrow. I got dishes in the dishwasher ready to come out. That's my 3rd load in 2 days. Yeah. I actually don't have a load ready to go replace it, but The responsible thing would be to empty the dishwasher and at least put what I have in there. A couple things in the sink, nothing major, but daily PMs, part of the one brick philosophy. You know, I do have some stuff that we dragged in from the alcove in the garage, including I think a tote of glassware that I probably need to park by the back door so that Tiny can give it a new home on the lanai somewhere. I think. Yeah, I think we did. Because there were times we were tripping over stuff. There were times because it's a narrow hallway. Not really built for storage. My dad complained to me so many times about, and the irony is he was guilty of it too. I keep having to build new places to store all the shit your mom's buying. Okay, well, number one, you're buying a lot of stuff too. Number two, I'm not saying that you can boss your wife around. I don't believe in that kind of household. I don't. I think all the guys that have a make me a sandwich philosophy don't understand relationships, and or a little public shaming wouldn't exactly, be amiss. It's very, the faux alpha bravado is just really distasteful to me. It's very beta wannabe kind of vibe. I don't dig it. Just in people. Not down with it. Here's the thing. If you're in a solid relationship with somebody, whether it's a straight, gay, I don't care, and someone is out of control, like buying stuff to where you're having to build extra storage, instead of just building the extra storage and, bitching to your kid about it, I think the right response, the correct, proper response that might have solved a lot of problems along the way would be to sit down with that person and go, hey, look, I'm having to build an extra shed every 6 months to accommodate the stuff that you're picking up. No, I'm not going to take your credit card away. We're going to treat you like a 70s woman. Look it up. I'm not making this up. But you need to stop. You need to stop. If we're buying this stuff to resell it, because this was my parents, if we're buying this stuff to resell it, we've clearly got a lot of inventory right now. Let's sell what we've got before we get another warehouse worth. Because otherwise, at that point, we're just in the business of storing things and not getting paid for it, as opposed to turning things. We've got the focus of our business wrong. Because that's what was happening. And I know I've mentioned this before, but if you're kind of newish, whatnot, they did a lot of garage sales 10 years ago. And then they started slowing down and slowing down. They were in their 80s. My mom died last year. My dad's in a home right now with advanced dementia, basically dying. I've had 3 nurses at this point kind of on the side tell me or agree with me when I state he's probably not going to make it through the year. It's the progression of the disease. It's just, he has vascular dementia and Alzheimer's and a variety of other health conditions because he's an 85-year-old dude. He's actually in really good physical shape for an 85-year-old dude, but he's still an 85-year-old dude. The mileage gets to you, things break. It's just reality. But as they got older, and as cognitive decline began to creep in on both of them, they continued the habit of buying, but started slowing down and stopping the habit of selling. So they already had a really good stockpile of stuff to work with. And I mean a really good stockpile of stuff to work with. Oh dear God in heaven, they had... Okay, I'll stop. But then they just kept buying. And they easily crossed into the territory, if they weren't already, in what is usually referred to as hoarding. Hey, my mom got mad at me because I threw away 500 napkins that had turned yellow and brown. They started out their life ivory white, and they were, faded parchment color. Some of them had roach poop on them. And she got mad at me because she was saving those. More than 500 is probably a couple thousand. An entire cabinet in the kitchen just full of them. I'm saving those. I might use those. Mom, if you need napkins that bad, I'll go buy you a couple packs at Dollar Tree. You'll be set. But you really want to wipe your mouth with this? You want me to leave the roach poop on it, or you want me to brush it off? Which one makes you happier? You keep throwing away my precious things. Mom, if these are your precious things, we gotta talk about your priorities. Hoarding, plus there was some cognitive issues there. It's kind of gross. And I told you I did find an entire latching tote out on the lanai with napkins. Yes, I did. I think I even showed it on camera. It's a few months ago now. It's just like, dear God in heaven. I know you were hiding this from me. You had Dad hide this on the lanai so that I didn't find it and throw it away. I know that's what happened. It's a frog. One of the other weird toys we found out there. Wish he didn't have the big mold mark in the middle. It's got a huge mold mark right down the middle. That kind of stuff's hard to disguise. With like paint and stuff. So I'll do something with him. Physically, he's okay. He's a little dirty and all that. Interesting paint. But I'll have fun with him. He might wind up as part of a sculpture or something. I don't know. I like frogs. You're getting a second chance. You didn't go in the bag. Don't know what I'm doing with you yet, but yeah. That's my hoarding. I save that kind of stuff and then create art with it later. I haven't asked Pix to start building sheds and things for me yet. I'm not quite there. I do have totes and totes of stuff like that, but I haven't had time to actually sit down and do what I want to be able to do. And I'm very proud that my wife has started to do the same thing as me in that respect. Because she does dolls, and her big obsession is Monster High. These are the dolls that she would have played with as a little girl if they had been out when she was a little girl. Which I totally respect. Like, totally respect. Because I'm not a doll guy. I am a toy guy, and I love plush. But, oh boy. That was Janus running by. Oh God, no more zoomies, guys. But the Monster High, Barbie, all that, Monster High, no, I get it. I get it. Yeah. When your two main characters are basically Draculaura and Frankie Stein, okay, I think I think you're onto something kind of fun here. Cleo Denial, yeah, you got a neat idea here. This is fun. But her big thing is, she grew up around, her grandmother was a doll collector, so she grew up around Barbie and all that kind of stuff because that was the thing in the 70s, 80s, and all that. So she always had dolls. Um, she usually had the more unusual Barbies. She was, she had, I think, the Grace Jones Barbie. I mean, my girl's not the whole blonde cheerleader, Malibu ballerina Barbie kind of. That's not who my girl is. Um, and I don't think we'd be together if she were. You know what I mean? So she's looking at like building things and she's always been good at like textile work. She's made a lot of costumes over the years, both for our kids and also for theater. She's done a lot of that stuff, which made her a joy to work with on a lot of the theater projects because I could say, hey, for this show we need, and she'd say, I think I have a pattern that's similar, I can modify it. And she'd be able to whip something up in a week. Pretty cool. We're a dangerous team. But, so she's now saving, she'll see something and go, oh, you know what? For the thing that I want to build for Claudine Wolfe, I could probably use this. I'd have to modify it a little bit, but I could use this as a furniture piece. And it gives me great joy because I do that too. And, Broken Stork as an example. And also, I flipped it a couple times and gone, aha! And she's like, okay, yeah, I've gotten onto you over the years for saving all the stuff that you did, but I kind of understand why now. Yeah. Yeah. And like, on the bright side, I'll help you make anything that you need to make. Because I'm pretty good at some of the sculpting and plastics and stuff like that. So, between the two of us, you make the fabric stuff that I need, and I'll make some of the hard plastic stuff that you're looking for. Because I know how to do that. She's like, yeah, okay. So that's part of our retirement plan, is the two of us to be able to tag team some of these projects. Some of them are going to be projects that are going to go in my doll houses, and some of them are going to be projects for her doll houses. Hers are more legitimate doll houses. Most of my stuff's for like action figures and whatnot. But she has action figures too. One of her prized possessions is it's like a 2-foot tall Kenner Alien. She got it when she was like 9 or 10 when it came out in stores and didn't do well. It is a huge plastic Kenner action figure, 2-foot tall, 18-inch tall. I don't know, it's big. But it is the Xenomorph. And it didn't sell well. It was a big flop in stores. Because it was a oversized action figure of a really scary monster from a rated R movie. And they kind of marketed it towards kids. Not... Someone didn't do the math on this one. But she actually got one when she was a kid. And it's still in fine shape. Has the top piece, and she's even got the box. The box is pretty rough for wear, but it's original, single owner kind of thing. I think she said she got it like Toys R Us. But yeah, it didn't sell well. They didn't make many of them, and they're $500, $1,000 on eBay. When you look it up, it's like Kenner 1979, 1980 Alien. I forget how tall it is. But yeah, you can find them on eBay, so it's not like oh my god, you'll never get one. But they are rare and they are pricey. It underperformed. That's my girl. That is my girl. I didn't even know they'd made them when they came out. And I don't think I saw Alien until like 83, 84. My parents were a little bit more strict on what I was allowed to watch. She got away with, Pix got away with all kinds of stuff. Single mom, much more liberal. You know, if you have nightmares, you can't do it. If you don't have nightmares, fine, I don't care. You know, more freestyle parenting. Single mom working 2 jobs, she kind of had to, sometimes 3. She wasn't there to, you know, busy trying to keep all the lights on and the, you know, food on the table. So, mad respect for her mom. Mad respect. It's a tough gig in any decade. She was doing that in the 70s and 80s. It's tough. Having to get permission from her ex-husband to get a credit card because the bank insisted upon it. Look it up. We've been there before as a country. Is it stupid? Yes, it is. But grown women having to get a man's permission to have a credit card. It was a thing. Either husband, father, yeah. Gotten a lot of rights put in the books. Don't give them back. Don't let them get taken. Because some of these alpha wannabes, they'll take your rights. Because they want you to make a sandwich. Don't let them do that. Just my political advice. I'm a fan of competent, strong women as like partners, not servants. When I grew up on the bridge of the Enterprise, yeah. I know you're thinking, well, Kirk was kind of a chauvinist. He was and he wasn't. There were a lot of really qualified, well-educated women that he respected the hell out of. They had a voice. You know what I mean? He's in command because he's in command, but they still have an opinion, and they're qualified, and they're experts in their field, and he'll listen. That's not chauvinism, that's leadership. Anyway, that was free. I'm still not AI, by the way. And I'm still not sponsored by any coffee company. I don't have the viewership right now to even insist on it, I know that, but actually I don't know that I'd want sponsorship from Starbucks because of their union busting and silliness. I don't know about Harry and David's politics, but I know I like their products a lot. So Harry and David, Harry or David, I don't care, or Ben or Jerry, any of those poor guys, call me. Yeah, I'm free agent, free guy. Anything that I say on my videos are my own opinions. I haven't been fed anything. I mean, I ate earlier. I had a knockwurst with some sauerkraut. I also had some yogurt and some kefir. That's not really what we're talking about, though. Again, any opinions are my own. And don't worry, I have them. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Pull the dishes, work on the garage, at some point lay back down so that I'm not a zombie when my girl gets here after sunrise. Because that would be stupid. I'd be wasting time, right? So, hug your parents, hug your kids, work your list, do your brick. Make it a great day.